What if I told you that Dodge's first major post-HEMI launch, the all-electric Charger Daytona, is already shaping up to be one of the biggest sales flops in modern history? I'm not just talking about a slow start, I'm talking about an embarrassingly low sales numbers, even with dealer discounts up to $12,000 and even lease deals so good it almost feels like Dodge is begging you to take one of these cars off of their hands. And even yet, with all of that, the Dodge Charger Daytona still is not selling. Okay, I'm over 40,000 friends, and at 65% of you guys who keep watching me but not yet subscribed. According to this new data, Dodge sold more old discounted 2023 Dodge Charger Daytona and Challengers, the last calls from 2023, in Q1 of 2025, 2 years later, than they did their brand new, futuristic, oh so great performing Dodge Charger Daytona EVs. Let that sink in. A car that's been out of production for almost a year is still outselling the next generation, futuristic, the greatest Dodge ever muscle car. A vehicle that's been on sale for almost 2 decades. That's been out of production for a year is still outselling the muscle car that journalists and some tree huggers told you that was the best Dodge ever. I like it. These guys are just haters, but the sales numbers do not lie. The Dodge Charger Daytona sold only 2,115 units in 90 days. That's an average of 24 cars a day across the entire United States. And that's only with about 2,500 Dodge dealers in the US and Canada. That's like literally only 1% of dealers selling a Charger Daytona per day, with thousands upon thousands upon $1,000 in discounts. And they got insane lease deals depending on where you at. And then they got such whelming performance levels.
I know you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? I think you can in Europe.
But the Charger Daytona was supposed to be the future of Dodge. It was hyped for years. It was supposed to be a bold EV flagship with wild styling, aggressive performance, and bring the brotherhood into a new electric world. Or in this promo video right here, Dodge portrayed its fan base for a new customer base.
And it may surprise you to learn that Dodge attracts one of the youngest and most diverse customers in the industry, with the highest concentration of millennials, who now account for 1/4 of the US population, with the highest spending power of any generation. Millennials also have the highest acceptance rate of EVs. That's why the convergence of a demographic with spending power and the adaptation of electric power creates the perfect gateway for a brand that's all about horsepower. The customer profile of the Dodge brand today will be a key enabler to getting muscle car buyers into EVs tomorrow.
And now that new target audience and the brotherhood, the old guys, you know, us right here, 'cause I am 40 now, us old guys, both of us, the old guys and new guys, we both said, nah, this car ain't it. It's almost like Dodge knew they were coming out with a disaster.
And it's funny because Dodge doesn't do a lot of research, because we're usually not wanting a mainstream opinion of what we're doing. But we did do research on this car after the fact, quite frankly. And what we saw was scary, very, very scary. When we said these cars are going away, going to be the last call, and we're going to move to electrification, it dropped into about the 60 range. That's I don't even know what to compare that to. I mean, that is Armageddon. That is disaster. Like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? What did we get ourselves into?
How much money, R&D money, did you put into that sound system? You know,
No,
for the
I'll never, too much.
Have you guys noticed there is not a single Dodge script on any of these new vehicles? Like, there's not one on a Hornet, and it ain't sure not one on the Charger Daytona. It's like Dodge is so embarrassed with these cars, especially Daytona. Like, they had to go and find a logo that really only a handful of people who has old school cars recognize, that Vauxhall logo, and put it on the Charger Daytona. That logo is supposed to be like a symbol of the future, this big bright idea, but instead it's become a case study on how not to launch a new platform and how not to, you know, succeed from a previous generation that was the Hellcat era, one of the greatest era of cars that we've ever experienced, and also alienate your current customers, trying to replace them in real time with millennials who don't necessarily have the amount of money to go pay $80,000 for an EV. So I'm just saying, but all this nonsense, it goes back to Carl Tavares, Stellantis' now fired CEO. Carl Tavares fast-tracked the production of the Charger Daytona, the Wagoneer S, and the now delayed Ram Rev, all these EVs before they was actually ready over gasoline-powered vehicles. And now we're seeing the results of his leadership, of his genius. Plenty of software issues, underwhelming specs, sky-high prices, and EVs that no one asked for, and every single one of them are a flop.
To begin this cornerstone event, I'm going to call on stage a man who has lived and breathed cars for more than 40 years, and he has a mission to make them safe, sustainable, and affordable for every citizen on Earth now and for generations to come. Please welcome the CEO of Stellantis, Carlos Tavares.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Stellantis electrification event.
If the Ram Rev EV would have launched, Stellantis more than likely would have had 4 straight battery electric vehicle flops off their new platform. The Dodge Hornet RT, the actual hybrid version of Hornet, that's a flop. The Charger Daytona EV, that's a flop. The Jeep Wagoneer S EV, that's supposed to be faster than the track car, that's a flop. And the Ram Rev, that would have been a flop because even Ford recognized that no one's buying the Ford Lightning. So all Stellantis has to do is collect 2 more failed EV launches and they will basically have the infinity stones of flops. So I'm just saying. Now let's talk the numbers here. The Charger Daytona offers 670 horsepower in the Scat Pack EV trim with 2 performance stage kits added. That's 2 kits added to give it only 670 horsepower, and that vehicle sells for over $80,000. That is not very competitive. A Tesla Model 3 Performance offers better performance with better software for tens of thousands of dollars less. The base Model 3, or not base Model 3, the base Model S offers almost double the range and a better 0 to 60 at the same price as the Charger Daytona Scat Pack. The Charger Daytona's rock solid chamber exhaust soundbar is not working and is not making a difference, especially when half the time it's not working because of early software bugs. I test drove one, the little Scat Pack one, that exhaust, for some reason it kept cutting off while I was driving the car. And I mean, the salesman going like, what the freak is going on? If you don't believe me, you go look at one of my live streams when I test drove one and you can actually hear it cutting out in the actual live stream. Then there's the Wagoneer S. It has a pretty good name, great styling, decent range on paper, but in the real world with real world sales, not the speculation, it only sold 2,500 units since launch. And it's also been reportedly played with a bunch of software issues and a clunky interface. It's just another rushed EV launch, another blackout for Stellantis, and you can check out videos from actual technicians like this one right here, where they basically tell you all the nonsense going on even with just that car. Every major vehicle Stellantis has launched since the killing of HEMI has either flopped or been delayed. The Dodge Hornet, which is supposed to be their volume crossover, is one of the worst selling vehicles in its segment, and with critics and buyers alike complaining about quality, pricing, and overall blandness. And even Dodge knew it was going to be a bad idea.
Hornet is going to be the same thing. And I was joking when we unveiled the car, this might be a disaster because we're going into a segment that's not asking for any of these things. None of them.
The day is finally here. Today is first call as we officially open for orders on the all-new 24 model year Dodge Charger Daytona.
The Charger Daytona is not failing because people don't want electric muscle cars. It is failing because it sucks as an EV and it sucks as a muscle car at the same time. People still want real muscle cars that are muscle cars, not fake ones with sound bars that pretend to be something that it is not. Just saying. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you guys buy an EV Charger over a HEMI Charger in the new body style? Do you think Stellantis will continue to survive if their EVs still flop? And do you think the HEMI is the only way to save Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram? If Dodge doesn't hurry up and put a HEMI back into the Charger, Ford might take over if they come out with a V8 sedan that I talked about in this video right here. And until the next time, I'm out.